What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey, Lee, how are you?
Good. Baylor just beat us physically. The running back had 30 carries, 30 carries for 207 yards, 6.9 yards. He averaged when he touched the ball. So up front, we just did bad. We got to do better, and Baylor will feel it.
So, I mean, what's the feeling after that Kansas State game from a defensive standpoint? Are you guys frustrated? Felt you should have played better? Were they more physical?
No, you weren't frustrated, and you feel like you gonna feel like you played better. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The only thing can fix the loss is a win. So you learn from the mistakes. I had a crucial penalty on the second down, which I knew something happened before that. But if I ain't get that penalty on that second down, that hand to the face, it would have been 3rd and 8, and we would have stopped them. So it's just stuff you learn from.
When you look at, Gus said, he was impressed with the positive attitude the team had after the loss, coming back to practice today. What is it about that, the culture, the atmosphere between you guys that maybe will bounce back after this loss?
If you fight somebody beats you up, you can't cry about it. You got to go back in the yard and fight again until you win.
And with that in mind, after the fight you had on Saturday, what lesson do you feel like you learned that you're going to carry into Baylor next week?
It's some good players out here. You got to get better. We actually glad we played against Kansas State. That was the best offensive line I ever faced in college, and I feel like they made me a lot better. I learned from I got to look myself in the mirror, and I did that, and I know what I got to get better on, and I'm going to do it versus Baylor.
So Kansas State, what you practiced for, they started to show you some different things, and what was your adjustment to that?
No, everything that we saw from them, we went over at practice. Everything that they gave us, we went over at practice. They just beat us physically.
Talk about the play of John Walker this early part of the season. Is this a surprise? You see him like every week doing something like blocking passes or causing trouble in the back.
John Walker a beast. He gonna get that Freshman of the Year award, and I want him to. And people feel him. It's present when he out there, he a dog.
We've asked the offensive guys about the impact that not having John Rice Plumlee has had. Obviously, Ricky Barber's been unavailable for a large part of the last 2 games. So when he's not there, how much do you put on your own shoulders to lead from that position, and what do you lack when he's not on the field?
When Ricky not on the field?
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't have to put nothing on my shoulder because everybody in our D-line room's dogs. Matt Alexander had a great game. Jay Walker had a great game. Kirby Shue had a great game. Everybody got out there, did their job. So it wasn't really no weight on my shoulder. I just had to focus on doing my job, and everybody else fell in line and did theirs.
You got that first Big 12 game under your belt. You mentioned how physical they were, but what did you learn about playing at this level, Big 12 level from that game on Saturday?
In crucial moment, you can't make little mistakes. That's what I really learned from it. And throughout the game, you got to start fast, and you got to start how you finish.
Lee, what do you feel like has grown most, not only with just like your game, just like your leadership around the campus, just like a confidence around the program? What do you feel like you got better at since you got here at UCF?
Just being myself, not changing who I am as a person.
You heard Gus talking about how physical Kansas State was. What does that mean? How does that actually translate to the trenches? And are you guys, do you strive to be just as physical as a team like they were?
No, we just as physical as them for sure. It's just they gonna do the same thing and wait for you to be undisciplined. And they caught us in some undisciplined moments, and that's how they really won that game.
What type of energy are you bringing into Baylor coming off the loss?
The same energy I brought week 1. Let's go. Go to the practice field and practice hard. I ain't gonna change who I am, but I'm gonna go even harder because we lost.
So what's kind of the feeling as you go into this week? Are you guys kind of laser focused on what you got to do to correct things defensively? I mean, knowing how important every game is from here on out.
We've been laser focused since week 1. You just learn from the mistake that we put on film as a team and get better from them.
Lee, you guys come home and you get the first Big 12 home game here at UCF. It's been a long time coming. A lot of fans are excited about this moment. What is it for you guys? You realize the kind of monumentous moment this is going to be on Saturday.
Really, let's go. Only thing can heal a loss is a win. So hit the practice field and go harder, and let's go.
You kind of got a taste of that atmosphere at the State of the Weekend. What kind of atmosphere do you want to see in the Bounce House on Saturday versus Baylor?
The same atmosphere we see in week 1. I know we're going to see it again. The fans going to come out and ready to get lit for us, as a lot of people say. So, yeah, same atmosphere the Bounce House get.
When you hear Kobe mention you and talk about your style of leadership, how does that make you feel?
I feel the same because me and Kobe, that's our relationship. That's my brother. The same thing he got up here and said, that we sit and talk behind closed doors, so he not acting, that's true. And I feel the same way about Kobe.
You just talked about there were some mistakes, some critical mistakes, but it was a one-score game. In the fourth quarter, you guys had a lead there in the second half. Those were the defending Big 12 champs. They're definitely going to be up there in the conference race. How do you feel now? I mean, I know you'll have more perspective after you play a few more, but do you feel UCF can get to a point? I know you had some injuries and stuff. You weren't playing at full strength either, but do you think UCF can contend in the Big 12 this year?
Could you slow that question down?
Yeah, I just, you just went up against a team that was the defending Big 12 champs, and you had chances.
It's like 5
You had
quarters in
opportunities
one
in the
sentence.
second half, and you weren't playing at full strength yourself. Backup quarterback, injuries on the defensive line, tight end, what have you. But after going through that, do you still believe that UCF can contend for a Big 12 championship this year?
Oh, for sure believe. Do you see what we got on our roster?
Tell us about it. Yeah, what do you got? Tell us.
Some dogs, from the quarterback room to the receiver room, from the DB room, from the D-line to the linebackers, from tight end, from special team, from the coaching staff, and from Terry the president, we got dogs. Believe.
Lee, you go against Timmy a lot, obviously in practice. What has stood out to you about the last couple of weeks about the way he's kind of maybe evolved and grown?
Honestly, Tim was on scout team last year, so every day we had to contain him when we play running quarterbacks, and he completing balls last year on versus the number one defense. So I been knew Tim was good, and watching his friend from South Florida that they play when UCF played South Florida, and seeing what he did and almost beat UCF before I got here, and they was a pretty good football team. They let me know he was a dog.
How does it feel just to kind of enter this season? I know last year you played, but kind of as a backup role. But now you're a primary player. You're making a huge impact. You're one of the leaders defensively. How does that feel for you? Just kind of, obviously it was your goal, I'm sure, to play big time college football, and now you're doing it.
It's a dream come true for sure, but it's a blessing. I don't really know what to say on that question, but it's just a blessing.
Lee, Coach been to some alignment issues, maybe pre-snap. Was this something that Kansas State was doing? Is this something that you guys weren't ready for? What was he kind of referring to when he said you guys were having alignment issues on some plays?
I can't tell you that because I don't know. So I don't know what to tell you on that.
What do you know about Baylor? I know offensively they've had a starting quarterback that's been injured, and kind of like UCF. Maybe he comes back this week. I don't know. I know they've kind of had some difficulties how to play Texas, but what do you kind of know? What kind of offense are you expecting to face on Saturday?
Baylor 1-2 or whatever their record is, but you're gonna get their A game. They're gonna come out and play. We just watched their O-line before I got here. I feel like they're pretty good up front. So how we gonna win this game? We gotta dominate the line of scrimmage, and we will do that.
Will you talk about the culture of the locker room and how that's going to help you move forward through the rest of the season?
The culture of the locker room is the same. It's gonna be the same. Ain't nothing changing, and everybody just gonna come with better energy, I guess.
Guys all set?
What's up, man? Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.